Saving for your first place is really, really, really hard. Why? Well, because it's expensive, but I think people make it harder than it has to be. Let's make it a little bit easier. My name is Jeremy Shirazi, and today we're adulting. Perhaps you flirted with the idea of saving. Perhaps you've just started or you're well on your way. But either way, there's a little voice in the back of your head saying, "It needs to save. It needs to move out." Welcome to Adulting, where we cover basics on life and property to help you get through the real world. Let's be honest, saving for a home is boring. It's time consuming. It's not the most glamorous of subjects. And look, it's painstaking. It takes time. And for most people, when you're looking at saving for your first home, it can be really overwhelming. I mean, you might have just entered the workforce and you're still living at home or renting or boarding or house sharing, whatever you're doing. But you look at what's required by the banks to get into a house and how much savings you have right now. And between the two, the disparity feels huge. And you look at it like the top of a mountain and you go, man, that's gonna take way too long. Like it just feels overwhelming. So what do? You think about it for a little bit and then you put it to the side and you get on with life. And another month passes, you think, man, it'd be good to have my own place. But you do the same exercise again, you keep putting savings back. Most people complicate things for themselves. They overthink it, or they watch these videos, got to round the decimal down to zero every day and put $1 into my bank account and got to grind, and every single day it's going to be hard. That's not how you do it. If you want to save, make it easy. You need to set it and forget it. And today, that's what I'm going to help you do. The things that I'm sharing with you today are things that I've learned personally, buying our own place, my wife and I, and then also, yes, I'm a real estate agent. Been working in the industry for the last 10 years, and I've seen people buy and sell property, young people, old people, investors, developers, everyone. I've learned from them, I've learned from myself, I've learned from friends and family, from their experiences. I've learned from some very successful people and people that weren't successful. But that's the beauty of it, is you get to see the highs and the lows, and we get to kind of pick out what we think works. The first tip is to organize your finances a little. And I'm not saying a lot, not restructure, not work through an Excel spreadsheet. I'm just saying keep it simple. The main thing you want to get out of today is being able to set it and forget it. We want to do the foundations today, just give you the basics so you can start, and then you just let it run and you forget about it. You go back to living normal life like you do every single day, and then in 6 months' time, 12 months' time, 1 month's time even, you'll be able to see that you had substantially more deposit than you had before. Nothing I'm going to give you today is like get rich quick, or look, I've got a Lamborghini in the back and a bookshelf and I'm in my garage and I make $1 million a year. Like, forget all the nonsense. This is just me being honest with you guys. The first thing you want to do is set up your accounts, okay? So again, not the most glamorous of subjects, but this is really important. So set up your accounts. Now, you've probably been with your family bank forever, or the one that your parents set up with for you, but do your research. There are a lot of banks out there and a lot of them have packages for young savers. Once you've picked your bank, you want to set up 3 accounts. 3 accounts that you're going to have are everyday spendings, outgoings, and can't touch this.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Or deposit, or whatever you want to call it. But either way, the 3 names of the accounts need to clearly state what the intentions are. So when you're messing around with money in there, you know exactly what's in there and why it's in there, and it keeps you on track. Starting at the bottom of the list, don't touch, can't touch, deposit. Each week you will automatically have an amount that will go in without you having to think about it. No matter what you do not touch this money under absolutely no circumstances. Well, after the first month anyway, and you've got everything together. But once you've got your stuff together, you do not touch this account. You just let it roll, you let it build. This is your deposit. By defiling it, it's going to lead to frustration, and it's going to set you back and you're going to lose course. So whatever you do, stay on track. And you might be thinking, but Jez, I need money because I had this unexpected bill come up or something come up, and like I've got no other money, I need to get the money out. Well, that brings me to the next account, and that's your outgoing. It actually costs us a certain amount to wake up every week, and that's a super depressing thought, but it is what it is. So if you own it and you handle it, you'll breeze through. Otherwise, think about your friends and your family that are always at the mercy of the cost coming in. Man, I had a phone bill come out this week. I can't go out. I can't go party. I can't spend money on drinks. Man, I'd love to come and go to that concert with you, but I don't have any money because like my car blew up, or something silly. There are some things in life you cannot prepare for, but for most of it, it's pretty easy to foresee what costs are coming your way, and if you prepare for it, it's going to make saving and even spending a lot easier. Sit down for 5 minutes and work out what it costs you to live. This freaked me out the first time I did it, but I promise you it's really important. What bills, subscription fees, what life costs do you have? What does it cost you to wake up every day? Here's how you do it. Make a list. Rent, board, Spotify, Netflix, health insurance, current loan repayments, sports and gym membership, fuel, yearly car rego, driver's license. If you can't remember all of these, just look at your current accounts and look at everything that's already been debited and then make a list of those. Whatever isn't in there, fill in the gaps with what you know, and you're gonna have a list of what outgoings you have. Okay, so now you know how much your outgoings are. What you need to do is work out their entire yearly cost, add it all up, and then divide it by your pay cycle. So if you get paid weekly, divide it by 52. If you get paid fortnightly, divide it by 26, paid monthly, divided by 12. Now you know how much is going out per pay cycle. What you want to do is add another 10% more if you can, but keep it simple, 10% for the moment. So if it's $500 a week, put away $550. This total amount is how much is going to come out automatically from your pay into your outgoings account every week. Now, it'll cover your costs and your bills and what it costs to live without you having to think about it. The main thing, without you having to stress about it, so when you do spend money, you can spend it guilt-free. Remember, easy saving is setting and forgetting. Set up all of your outgoings to be debited from this account automatically. That or the associated debit card. If you don't know what a debit card is, it's like a credit card, but you're spending your own money rather than using the bank's. To start, deposit 500 or 1,000 or whatever you can in here as a buffer. The main thing is cover you for those unexpected costs that rock up, like your car service might have been $300, but then suddenly you need another part, an alternator or something, it's going to cost you $1,000 that you didn't have before. If you've got a buffer set up in place, you can be better prepared when unexpected costs come up. Lastly, if you sign up for a new subscription, or if you get more costs or more outgoings on top of this, make sure you allow for it. By pretending it's not there, you're only going to shoot yourself in the foot later on when you then have to start dipping into your everyday or your savings account to cover costs that you didn't allow for. Now, if your outgoings go down, then you can leave it as it is and just keep building that buffer up, or you can use that extra money that is in there and put it somewhere else. Every day, this is easy. This is money that's left after the outgoings and savings, and it's funds that we use for everyday life. Living life, food, partying, gifts, etc. Difference is you'll know how much you have to spend in here each week, so you won't be dumb and go and blow it all. So stop you from overspending, but it'll also help you appreciate the things that you do buy. You might find yourself with not enough in here. Don't freak out. A few adjustments and you can get back in sync with what you need. Something magical will happen with this account once you get the hang of it. You will work out how much needs to be in here so you don't feel broke all the time, but more importantly, it'll start to build. You'll find excess cash in here. For example, I knew I could get away with about $300 per week to cover the basics like food, alcohol, transport, but I certainly wasn't living it up. Once I knew my minimum of what I could get away with spending each week, every dollar after that was a bonus. So if I was putting in $500 a week and I could get away with $300 a week in that account, that extra $200 was all cream. You're thinking, Jez, well, I've got an extra $200, why don't I go spend it? Well, you can, but here's the thing. Leave it after about a month. If you're only spending $300 a week and you've got $200 left over, then after a month, you're gonna have $800 left in this account. So what do you do with it? A, you can spend it all. B, put it all into savings, which is a much smarter choice. Or C, why don't you do both?
¿Por qué no los dos?
Take that $400 and treat yourself. Buy something that you wanted to buy, put the other $400 in savings and watch it grow. It sounds lame, but it's a seriously good feeling to know that you've got enough money to survive, cover all of your outgoings, and to save in the process. Earlier I mentioned that your payments will be automatic. Now this is the most powerful tool at your disposal, and it can be done in one of two ways. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying this video, make sure you hit a like, subscribe, and hit the bell. This is, on all honesty, my first video, so feel free to give me honest feedback and let me know your thoughts on it. Now, the first way, which is me being a little bit old school and how I used to do it, was my pay used to come in, and then I used to basically have my debit set up automatically within my own bank. But my pay came in on Thursday afternoon. First thing Friday morning, my pay would get dispersed into 3 accounts, and that way I knew all the money was accounted for. The reason I did this was so I didn't have to manually do it, which most people do, and then they forget and life takes over, and then before they know it, they forgot to save altogether. So again, setting and forgetting, or Yeah, setting and forgetting once it's established, not forgetting it, is really important. So Thursday afternoon, my pay would go in. Friday morning, the pay would get dispersed into the 3 accounts. I didn't have to think about it. I just made sure on Thursday night I didn't go out and do any dumb shit and spend too much. The second way, and probably the more effective way, is through your employer. Did you know that many workplaces have accounting software that allows them to split your pay into 3 different amounts or percentages into the nominated accounts of your choosing? Work out your splits, let your employer know, and let it all happen automatically. The amount that you've nominated from your everyday, your outgoings, and your savings will automatically get put into each account each week, and you can just forget about it and get on with living life. How do you split your pay? Well, that's easy. Work out your outgoings first, and then work out what you've got left. Out of what you have left, work out what you need in your everyday account to survive. Not want, but need. Then put the rest into your savings. Once you work out that being a hermit sucks, you will manage the split so you can live comfortably. Later, once you have more experience with this and obviously further your goals, you'll alter your lifestyle to be able to save harder. Your splits will change once you have your own place, but that's a whole nother video. Now you've got your 3 accounts set up, your everyday, your outgoings, and your savings, and your employer or you have organized your debits to go in automatically. Now you know your outgoings are covered every week, you know you've got enough money to live and do the things that you want to do, and you've got savings building each and every week. Even if it's only $100 a week, you're $100 closer to having your own place than you were the week before. Today's tips have been basic, but they provide the foundation that you will eventually tweak and restructure as your journey progresses. So, what do you think? Have you started something similar? Is saving going really well for you, or are you having some troubles? I'd love to hear from you. Jump in the comments below and let me know your thoughts on this strategy, and also give me some suggestions of your own. Happy adulting, and I look forward to seeing you next time.